terrorists will kill him. And he said, after that, he discovered that no more. He has been voting tribe, he has been voting religion, but now he wants to vote for his freedom. That in 2023, he will no longer do that. So the people that have been selling their votes before now, they want to vote for their freedom. So money is not going to play a lot of influence in 2023. The obedience have made up their mind that they will not give shishi, and they don't accept shishi.
Are your obedience enough to give you the kind of victory you envisage?
Every Nigerian is obedient. Do not ask me. Do not take my words for it. Take the words of Governor Obaseki, who confessed that there are obedience in his own family. Take the words of some spokespersons of the other party, who scream that some of their staff are obedient.
But the same Governor Obaseki said that the steam of the Labour Party will soon fizzle out.
What do you want him to say in front of his presidential candidate when he is doing his campaign? Go and ask him again, and he will tell you that if there is anybody that his team has been extinguished completely, is that of Atiku Abubakar, who, of course, should have been disqualified by now, by going to the north and making a genocidal statement that Northerners should vote for North only. This was what caused genocide in Rwanda, when Hutus were told that they should not support Tutsis because they are cockroaches. Atiku Abubakar went to the north and said Northerners should support only the people from the north, not Yoruba, not Igbo. That is ethnic profiling. That's genocidal statement. Atiku knows he has failed. What he's trying to do now is to make sure he destroys our democracy after he has failed. And he should be called to order. INEC should be implementing Section 97 of the Electoral Act now on Atiku, because that's a criminal offense, trying to profile ethnic and religious groups. So it is Atiku Abubakar that I've always said he is very unfit to be president, and not only that he's unfit, he is now a threat to our democracy. It is him that when he launched his own campaign in Akwa Ibom, all of them were obi-centric. All of them were obedient. What other evidence do you want me to say? They were singing the redemption song Obi Kere 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 Renke in the flag of our PDP campaign. Where do you want to go and you won't see obedient? If I sample the people walking in this your studio, you just be shocked that even inside the heart of Shehu Kimbaloye, he may just be obedient. In his heart, you're entitled to your thoughts. He may not just tell me.
Well, you never can tell, because
yes, I never can tell, but I said in your thoughts.
The Nigerian blood runs deep in my veins, and for the last few election cycle, I'm just so blank on voting. I've not voted in the last 4 election cycle because I'm always on my job. So I've given up in voting for anybody or trusting any politicians at that. I just allow them do their jobs. But the question is, how penetrative is the obedient movement?
All right.
In the very nook and crannies, because those who are going to make the majority of the vote are not those we see in the metropolis, on the street of Abuja, on the street of Lagos, on the street of Uyo, or on the street of Ilorin, the metropolis. That is not where you perhaps get a larger chunk of the vote. You probably will get it in those nook and crannies of Nigeria. And if anything, by the figures of INEC is to go by, you look at 76.56% of youth population in the new 12 million registered voters. Out of that, you have 40.87%. That's over 3 million that are students. How much of that figure do you think you can lure to be obedient? Oh yeah, Mr. Kenneth Okonkwo, thank you so much indeed for coming tonight.
Thank you very much, and thank you viewers at home for joining us.
Let's begin the conversation on the development. You saw the report on the arrest of one person that has well over 100 PVCs in Sokoto, and the investigations are going on where he got it and the details around what he made with it, and of course the conversations that came up yesterday on what INEC discovered about some bad eggs in the commission who were engaged in multiple registration. Let me get your view on that development.
Oh, well, it's a very sad development, but it's onyx. It's something that is expected from a government that has been known to have thieves in all the sectors of the economy, whether it's oil, whether in economy. You should expect that they should plant also their own thieves inside the INEC, because INEC is going to move down by the Electoral Act 2022. It might be very difficult for anybody to perpetrate anything without an insider. And you recall that after the Osun State election, there was only one person that said that the Electoral Act 2022 was going to destroy our democracy. And the person is Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He made it clear. And of course, with profound respect, sir, Electoral Act 2022 will not destroy our democracy. It will destroy the insatiable appetite of politicians, probably like you, to manipulate our election. You know, after the Osun State election, Adeleke said that the difference between Electoral Act 2010 and Electoral Act 2022 is in his losing or winning election. You know that in 2010 Electoral Act, the overvoting is calculated not based on accredited voters, but based on a manual register. And can you imagine the absurdity of it? That you could bring a result that is actually more than the people that presented themselves to vote, and you have nothing in law to defend yourself. But in 2022, you saw that those things were taken care of. So the Beavers has provided a shield whereby, based on the accredited voters, that is what overvoting is based on. So the politicians now know that it is difficult to maneuver these things, and they are now planting their own people inside INEC so that they can operate from.
Are you worried about that scenario?
Very worried.
But because INEC says that they are going to deal decisively with these people who are being caught in this act.
You know, INEC, with profound respect, can only express their wish, but their wish cannot be their command. When they are not in charge of the instruments of coercion, in other words, the instrument of enforcement of laws, they are not in charge of the judiciary. So they can only express their wish, but it's only eternal vigilance of Nigerians that will stop all the shenanigans of failed politicians who know that they have failed come 2023, but who are trying by all means to manipulate the process. 2023 is not going to be an election like any other, and that is why every Nigerian should be eternally vigilant. The INEC can only express. What bites do they have? They don't have any power over the police. They don't have any power over the judiciary. So
But do you trust that INEC will deliver on the promise of a free and fair election?
Professor Mahmoud is the only INEC chairman that has the fortunacy to be appointed for the second time from my adult age, meaning that there is reasonable confidence in him that he has an intention to deliver. But the intention can only materialize if he is given the adequate support from the state. So if you say intention, fine. If you say wish, fine. If wishes were horses, beggars will ride. So Nigerians should not rely on the promises, wishes, or aspirations of INEC. They must move ahead to supervise vigilantly whatever is going to happen to make sure that the 2023 election is delivered.
You seem to be